Welcome to We Are Pius, the podcast where we celebrate the people, mission, and stories that make Pius X Catholic High School here in Lincoln, Nebraska, such a special place. I'm your host, Jeremy Eckler, Chief Administrative Officer, and today we're excited to introduce another leader who will have a tremendous impact on our student-athletes and school community. Pius X Thunderbolt Baseball has a rich tradition at Pius X, and we're thrilled to welcome a coach who brings energy, experience, and a passion for developing young men both on and off the field. And I'm excited about this one too because I coached Legion and high school baseball here at Pius back in the day, and I'm also a graduate of the Thunderbolt baseball program. And today we're introducing you to our new head baseball coach, Coach Nikolas Miroshnichenko, the new head baseball coach here, and a member of our English faculty. So he'll be teaching in the building as well. We'll work a little bit on the last name, but for this podcast, it'll be Coach Miro. Coach Miro brings a love for the game, a commitment to excellence, and a belief that athletics is a powerful tool for forming character, leadership, and faith. Welcome, Coach Miro.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Thanks for doing this. This is great. And we're kind of already downstream a little bit. Like, you've been working with the boys, and you've been here for a while.
Yeah, very much so. I got into town, I believe it was April, and was kind of behind the scenes. Not kind of, definitely was behind the scenes in the spring, and just... I like to joke with the boys and said I was lurking in the shadows because I was watching a couple practices and I'd go to their games and stuff. And so just watching them, and then finally when their fantastic spring season ended, it was my turn to steer the ship. Yeah. And so that's what we did this summer, and it was a lot of fun. And then now moving forward, and especially starting teaching here at Pius too, it's cool to. It doesn't feel so new because I've been doing it all summer. I'm not going to have those exact kids in my class and stuff, but just being around the school, been very much in and out of the building, talking with my players. It feels like I'm not the rookie, the freshman.
Yeah, they said a couple important things there. I think the first one we'll go back to is the boys had an incredible spring season. Killer run, upsetting Omaha Gross, getting to the state tournament, playing Scott to the final pitch, Omaha Scott to the final pitch. And really a tough year in terms of transition. So a lot of seniors on the team. Shout out to Coach Keith Hengler, who had to leave for a job change. Then another shout out to Coach Hain, Alex Hain, who's here in the building, who stepped in as interim and did a tremendous job, and also did a tremendous job transitioning and helping you get ready for the summer. So for the lay folks out there, so to speak, there's the spring season, which has our reserve JV varsity, and then we go into the summer Legion, American Legion season, which has our seniors, juniors, and reserve program. Our reserve program is DBATS.
Correct.
Thank you for their sponsorship.
Yep.
Our junior or JV level would be Sandhills, and they've been a long-time sponsor. As a matter of fact, they were kind of my sponsor when I was coaching Legion.
Were they really?
Yes, in a different lifetime.
Oh, that's so good.
And then Union Bank. Union Bank is what we'd call the seniors of the varsity, and that was the level you coach. So that's kind of the lay of the land there, right?
Yeah, that's absolutely the lay of the land. It was cool jumping into it because I was not familiar with Legion baseball. Legion baseball was nowhere from. I'm from California, Southern California, and we didn't play Legion. We played with our high schools. We'd play other high schools, but it was more scrimmage wise. Free substitution. I know the starters kind of would go in for about 4 innings, and then you just sub everyone out. You can put anyone in. It was really just kind of a revolving door of who can play. So it really adds a whole nother heightened season, and that was cool because I didn't quite understand that until I got into the swings of things about 2 weeks in. I'm like, oh, we're going at it. This is legit.
Feels like a very Midwestern. It feels like a very Midwestern, like the Legion posts. Yeah. And I think the important thing you said too that I don't want to lose track of is that's an intentional approach here. You look at Coach Abby Fox, our new volleyball coach. Abby was here. Her first games are still coming. She's been doing meetings with players for 6, 7, 8 months. Okay. Right. Coach Grindy got in early for football. Got to know the guys. Substitute teaching. We wanted the same experience for you. We're like, as soon as you can get here from California, let's do it. And we want you to feel like a member of the community immediately, and then make that transition as smooth as possible for the kids as well, but the players. But before we get too far ahead of ourselves here, let's dig into the background a little bit. You talked about being from Southern California, but you do have some Nebraska ties as well. Tell us about your background and when baseball became such an important thing in your life. Yeah,
so I was born and raised in Southern California, Irvine, California, to be more specific. It's about hours south of LA. And I have ties. I like to say I came out of the womb a Husker. This was the one place I wanted to go. This is the only place I wanted to go.
So for school, for college, you wanted to be...
It was Nebraska or bust. Absolutely. I did the early enrollment into Nebraska. I knew I was in the school. Gosh, I want to say September of my senior year. So I was just really just cruising home that last year of high school. But no, that was my dream, baseball or not. And fortunately, I did get an opportunity to come join the baseball program here at UNL, and it was just a remarkable experience. It was dreams come true from so many fronts. It was not only the dream of going to Nebraska and being a Cornhusker, but it was the dream of continuing baseball post high school and seeing how far we can take it. So it was awesome. But no, backing up, Orange County, born and raised. It was very heavily baseball. We you can play baseball all year round, and that's what I did. My mom actually jokes. I believe it was kindergarten. My kindergarten teacher was like, he's not learning his alphabet yet, which I thought was funny since I'm an English teacher now, but he doesn't know his ABCs. And she was like, he's going to be okay. I had little mini baseball helmets of all the professional teams, and I could line them up by division, conference. I could tell you where the cities were, so I guess I just prioritized that over learning to read and write at that age. But
that's great. So, and you were blessed to play for a guy who did some big things in Southern California too. So you're probably an Angels fan.
Absolutely.
So was it pretty cool to play for Darren Erstad?
That was an absolute dream. He caught the final out. He was on the World Series team in 2002, and he actually caught the final out. So before every single Angels games, and we would go all the time. They are, we'll just say they're having a rough patch right now, but tickets are cheap in the dog days of summer. So we as my friends and I and family, everyone, we attended a lot of those games. But before every game, when there's like they play it Calling All Angels by Train, and they have the moments just going up on the Jumbotron before to create the hype for the game that's about to happen. And so before every single game, it's the color commentator, the radio color commentator being, Erstad says he's got it. The Angels win the 2002 World Series. And it's a little cheesy, but it's honestly chills every single time I hear that. Those memories when I was 6. So I remember them so well. I'm kidding. Yeah. But it was cool to be able to play under him and just because of that personal connection.
Absolutely. So who are some of the coaches? You talked about baseball from a very early age.
Yeah.
I mean, we're skipping kindergarten and first grade homework for baseball. So baseball's in the blood. Who are some of the coaches that really impacted you and influenced you to get into this profession of coaching and leading young men?
Yeah, I mean, my high school coaches were unbelievable. Coach Michael Burns, and when I didn't play under him, but he was another assistant coach at the school I was at, and he was a respectable head coach in his own right. His Coach Gary Fischel, they just encouraged me to be myself and take chances on what I believe should be what we should be doing, whether that be what type of drills we're doing, what type of routines I want the kids to do, and kind of in-game decisions as well. So that was really cool. Another big one that really, I would say, was the launching pad for my coaching was actually Erstad when we were practicing over at Nebraska. I was timid, safe to say. I was timid as a freshman. I wasn't this loud vocal person, and I was catching. And he would take us into the Hawks. We would practice on the Hawks in the winter, and so we could do a whole big team defense. And they would pump in the crowd noise, so you couldn't really hear yourself think. And he just said, be loud, make decisions when we were doing team defense, cuts and relays, that kind of stuff. And I'll never forget, but he was like, you just need to be instinctual and just kind of believe in that decision you're making right off the bat. Because he's like, I can change the way you think. We can help you make those correct decisions, but I can't change you to be,
more confident.
100%.
Yeah.
And so it really resonated with me. And I was like, all right, we're going to do it. We're going to do exactly what we think and what we believe more so. And we're just going to ride with that with confidence. And then we can always make adjustments down the road. Not everything is that perfect polished product right off the bat, but to go into it timid is cheating yourself in your own beliefs and stuff. So just really kind of jumping on that. And then, my 2 high school coaches that I mentioned, they were very much, because I was timid going into that, to those roles as well. Because when I was young, I didn't want to step on toes. They were doing it for decades at that point. And, they just told me just to go do it. Trust in yourself and go do it. And it helped a lot.
Yeah. And those guys are from really successful programs in California too. So they definitely earned their own confidence, but then the ability to pass that on, which I think is kind of what we're getting into now, is leaving your background a little bit and talking more about your philosophy and what you took away from all of your experiences. Could you, if we had an elevator ride that went about 5 floors, 3 to 5 floors, how would you describe your approach? What's your approach in philosophy?
What's really funny is I got asked this question a lot when I first, naturally, when you first come here, they want to know, what kind of style of baseball, and I just thought it was funny. I was like, I just play the game hard. But it wasn't until we start getting into that summer Legion season and when you start shaping and molding the players and how you want their mindsets to be, I was like, oh, this is exactly what we are. But it is it's not competitive. I like to apply pressure. That's the verbiage I use. I want to have our Pius Thunderbolts apply as much pressure on the other team as possible, whether that be through, trying to take an extra 90 feet in base running, or, laying down a perfectly placed bunt where the defense has to make a play. And I tell our kids, I go, this is high school baseball at the end of the day. We are all high school. We will make mistakes. Our team's going to make mistakes. Their team's going to make mistakes. We're going to practice for a little more intentful, a little harder. Our practices are going to be harder than the game. So when push comes to shove, when we're in between the chalk lines, that the other team is going to make more mistakes than we are, and that's how we're going to keep that constant aggression on them. And so just applying pressure, always putting the ball in play, and making things happen, and not being scared to take risks, I would say too. I'm okay if kids get thrown out on the base pass. As long as they're instinctual and they don't hesitate, they don't take a stutter step or whatever. If they do what they feel is right and what we coach and what we rep in practice, I can be happy at the end of the day.
I remember during the interview process when you started talking about your approach, feeling like this is really going to resonate with people who understand the history and tradition of Pius baseball. A lot of people think about Pius baseball and they think of Jim Hansen, who really built the program up, and he handed it off to Troy Scharf, who's a graduate. And Troy Scharf's still in our building. He's doing an amazing job with our softball program. And he's someone you've connected with as well. But your philosophies in terms of the way the game's played, applying pressure, making them make plays, understanding the game will break open at some point. If they make every play and play perfect, you're going to tip your cap. But that's just not going to happen consistently enough for the other team that we won't have great success over the course of a season. I remember that really resonating with me as a former player. Like that's everybody here can lay down a bunt. Everybody here can throw strikes if called upon. Everybody here can take an extra 90 if they boot a ball or get lazy in the outfield. Like that's sort of the pressure we want to apply. So I hope that's been well received. And if not, I think it's a culture that we definitely are excited to get back to.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a culture. I mean, laying down a sacrifice bunt is one of the most beautiful things there is, because
in sports, really. I mean,
it's such a selfless opportunity, and then you get to be the hero at the end of it too. So you go, you give yourself up, you sacrifice yourself, and you run back after you're doing your job correctly, and then once you run back in the dugout, you get a high five from every single one of your teammates, and everyone's smiling, everyone's saying good job, all that kind of stuff. You're like, all I did was hit the ball 3 feet. And, this is easy. I can keep doing it. So I think on that culture aspect, it's about creating that feel of joy when you do something selfless for your team, because at the end of the day, that's why I love baseball so much. It's so unique because it really is. It's a really individualized sport when you think about it. Every kind of position is different on the diamond. Everyone has their different roles. And there's not this perfect athlete kind of body type player to play each one of these positions, as there would be for, let's just say, basketball.
Yeah.
Like your center, you're probably not going to have your second to smallest kid on the team be your center. You're probably going to have your tallest kid. Baseball is not really like that. two Angels legends. You have Bartolo Colon and Tim Lincecum. Both won Cy Youngs. I don't know what Bartolo Colon's specs are, but he was a Cy Young winner.
Yeah.
And then you have Tim Lincecum, who was 5'8", call it, something like that. I don't know how much he weighed soaking wet, but he also was a Cy Young winner as well. So there's no like perfect model that fits into all these positions. You can still be successful no matter who you are in baseball, and that's why I say it's so individual. But it's individual moments for the team goal. Yeah, taking that team at bat, hitting the ball to the second baseman to move the runner over, sacrifice fly, sacrifice bunt. When you're hitting, when you're on offense, you're 1 versus 9. But at the end of the day, you're still a team, and so it's doing those individualized, selfish efforts for the betterment of the team. That's why I love it so much.
I love the Lincecum reference as a San Francisco Giants fan. I remember that staff with Barry Zito and Bumgartner and Matt Cain and Lincecum. And
I still have that Sports Illustrated cover where it says the Freak, and he's got his left arm. It's like he's touching both opposite ends of it.
His mechanics were just one of a kind. Yeah, it was fun. A lot of personalities on those teams too. Who's the closer? He was great with the beard.
Is either Brian Wilson?
And then they had
was it Ramos or Ramos?
Sergio Ramos. Yeah,
was it Ramos?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, just awesome. Okay, here we go. Now we're getting off script. We can talk baseball all day. Let's just finish up the philosophical side of this. And just with a big question, when a kid graduates from your program, and maybe it's not the minute they leave, maybe it's 5 or 10 years later, what do you hope that they've taken from their experience?
That being a family, working as a team for the common goal, all of that stuff you do, all the work you put in behind closed doors, in the snow, in the fall, in preparing for 6-7 months down the road, understanding what that purpose is and enjoying that kind of grind for your season. I think you can put that into any aspect of your life. You have to prep for meetings, projects, whatever endeavors you're doing. All of the little things, all of those little bullet points, those box checks that you have to do in order to get to your end goal, finding the love in that and the people that you're around.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, that really is the life lesson. I mean, that such an advantage if you can leave any program, but I think baseball teaches it especially well. There are all those one-on-one battles, but ultimately when you make yourself better, you make your team better. And when you're willing to sacrifice for the group, the family, the team, the organization, everyone is better by extension. So let's talk a little bit about, we exist here to restore all things in Christ. That is our motto. And we are rooted in these values, these Catholic values. Can you share a little bit about your own faith journey and how your faith has influenced the person you've become or the person that you're trying to become?
Yeah, so I didn't grow up Catholic. I grew up Lutheran, and my family and I would go to church. And I think the biggest thing is just it taught me my values and my faith of what kind of person I want to be. How do I want to be perceived by the community? How do I want to be remembered is more so is probably the better word for it. And then just, being as kind, friendly, nice to everyone, caring, giving. And I think that makes someone a well-rounded person. And so really just kind of grounding myself in those core values.
For sure. And if I remember right, do you have a sibling here at the university?
I do. I have my little sister she's going to be a sophomore.
And she's pretty involved in the Newman Center here in town too, right? So you've had some connections with the Catholic Church and the Newman Center and things as well.
I have. My little brother and sister actually went to private Catholic high school out in California. So I did not, but them two went into it, and they were very, connected into the Catholic community. And my little sister has continued that out here into the Newman Center and stuff. So she loves it. Yeah,
and I think you've gotten really close with the Grindies, right? So Michael and Morgan's teaching second grade at Cathedral. Michael will be here teaching theology and football. The Laneys, Caitlin and Connor, and they're both Cathedral. Connor's on the staff. Caitlin teaches, and he teaches math. Connor teaches math at Cathedral. Caitlin teaches art at the Cathedral. Correct. So you've really jumped in the community. And I think one of the interesting things when you left California to come play baseball in Nebraska, you actually had roommates at one point, correct? or friends or buddies that you worked with who were Pius
friends
grads?
and like coworkers. Yes,
So your
a
connection
lot,
with
yeah.
Pius and with the Catholic Church is I think you're on a really interesting journey. I think all those connection points are really neat.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I when I was at Nebraska, I played baseball with Jake Schleppenbach, who was a Pius grad
sure.
as well, and then summer jobs, friend groups. I was very much around Pius. So when I made the decision I wanted to come out to move to Nebraska and stuff, and I saw the opportunities that Pius open here, it wasn't just a random name. It was something that I was very much familiar of, and a massive brand within not only just the Lincoln itself, but the entire state of Nebraska. So it was cool to have the connections and
absolutely
and join really.
Absolutely. So I don't know the answer to this question. We posted the job when how'd the opportunity get to you in the first place out in California? Because you were there working in a school and doing and coaching there. How did you see the job, and what made you think like I'm gonna take a shot at this? Yeah, so I had some life instances kind of come up, and I was thinking for a little bit that I wanted to get out of California for a multitude of reasons. One of them being I worked 15 minutes away from where I lived, and that would take me 45 minutes on the way there, and it would take about an hour 10 on the way back. I did not love that anymore, and so I was looking to move, and Nebraska has always been a place that I have been comfortable calling home. I went to school here, and still maintained those relationships when I had about 6 years in between being here from college and then moving back here now in April, and I've still maintained those relationships. And I mean, I would come out and visit once a year. I was always coming back to Nebraska, so it wasn't like I completely gave up here. But I knew I was gonna find my way back. And when I first actually came out here, I was staying on my buddy's couch, and I remember when I did the 22-hour drive all the way out here, I come up in his parking lot, and he just opens his front door and he says, "Welcome home." and it was just really cool because, yeah, that's great.
Got to come back.
That's great. So, so you get in the community, you watch the spring season. Coach Hain, they do their thing, they make their run, upset Gross in the district final, play eventual state champion Omaha Scut to the final pitch.
Yep.
Then you take over the Legion season. You guys make an incredible run too. You're kind of in the must win scenario, having to win 2 games to get to state, which you do. What excites you next about building on that momentum? Big senior class that's leaving. A lot of young talent coming up.
Yep. This summer was a really cool opportunity. I think the biggest thing, because I was telling them, is this is their last time that group of kids would be together, that group of players would be together, and I think that was special. So just them being able to continue on from that spring season and really kind of cement that success that happened for the spring and cementing that in the summer, that's what made me super happy, and I was so proud of them. I just wanted to add that little caveat because that was an unbelievable job that they did. But it's going to be fun to build off that success, because that JV Sandhills team, it's Sandhills now, since it's Legion, Junior Legion. A lot of them, they would come and we would have games where they would play right before us, and we would play right after them, and there would be at any given day 5 to 10 kids players from that JV team that would stay watching the stands. My sister actually was in the crowd for one of them, and she was eavesdropping on those kids' conversations. But they're very in tune. They want to be the best version of themselves when it comes to baseball. She was telling me that they're all like, "We need to do this better, in order to get to here." But they're being students of the game and understanding kind of what that rise in their, not so much skill level, but their mental, and it's all baseball IQ. Once you start climbing the ranks of baseball, everyone's going to be good. Everyone has talent, so it's that differentiating factor is your baseball IQ, your smarts for the game, and just that. Have my sister tell me, I hope she was telling me the truth, but how in tune with the game they were, and how they were thinking like that already is really cool.
Yeah, we can't overlook their seasons. I mean, I think the reserve D-bats team finished second at state. Is that right?
They did, yes.
They finished runner-up and had an incredible record.
And they also had like our state or our districts, they lost early, so they had to climb out of the losers bracket, which is it's very hard to do.
Yeah.
And you got to play many more games. They only had 12, 13 kids on the roster.
Yeah.
So arms are limited.
Yeah.
And so just being able to get as far as they did in that state tournament was really cool for them.
Really cool. And then incredible seasson for Sandhills too, the JV. I mean, their record was something absurd. I don't have it in front of me, but it's something like 32-6 or something like that.
Yeah.
And a great season as well. So future looks really bright. Let's talk about that a little bit. What is your vision going forward? Now you kind of jumped in. Yeah, you were early, but it was just coming a million miles an hour. You got to find a place to live. You got to figure out the teaching side that starts here in August. You got to get to know these guys. But now you got a chance to think and reflect. What's your vision going forward?
Our vision is, well, because we did graduate a lot of seniors, and we are going to be younger, so to speak. It's really instilling the foundation of what we want. I talked previously about we're going to bunt, we're going to run, just all those things to apply pressure. And so it's going to be routinely just going over those kind of skills and those concepts so they get it every single time, because that is how we are going to find our success. So just really drilling it and repping it over and over and over again with the young kids and finding the joy in that. And I think that comes with the team culture aspect of that too. Once they find the joy in that, and that this is what our objective is and this is how we are going to find success on the field, it's going to be a fun time at Pius. So it's just instilling those things into our young bucks that we have coming up. Yeah.
And we love our coaches here at Pius. And it's just an added bonus. I think it's really important when our coach can be in the building teaching as well. So you've got your first full-time teaching gig here, though you've done a lot of work with, correct me if I'm wrong, but Special Olympics, working with students who have special needs, assisting learners who need a little extra help. You're coming in to teach freshman English, and in particular to support kids. And we're building those programs up quite a bit here at Pius to support even more students. How do you see your role in the classroom complementing who you are as a coach, and what it kind of excites you about starting up here in August with your classroom?
Yeah, I think it's very important for the coach to be on campus. I think being able to kind of see my athletes in the hallways, that's new to me too. We didn't have hallways in my school. Didn't have hallways in California. Everything was open. So being able to see them in the hallways and implementing the standard that we teach on the field outside into the building is going to be important. And just kind of me just being a figure and a presence in that too I think is going to benefit
That's
so
huge.
much, to be honest with you.
We're talking a lot about that, especially with our young men, who you are in the hallways, in the classroom, on the field, away from the classroom. Like we need young men of character who are consistent and act consistently. So when we have coaches who own that, that's a huge deal to us.
And then I also, on the flip side, from the classroom portion, I think it'll be really cool for just students that don't play baseball at all, just to know who the baseball coach is. I am definitely not the same person as I am in my classroom and on the baseball field. I like in a good way. I think it needs two different kind of levels of love and attention to detail and the way we get things done. Yeah. And so it's just going to build that baseball program out, because they're going to be like, oh, I had the old baseball coach. And then now next thing you know, maybe they're coming to baseball games now. Yeah. Or maybe they're having an interest in baseball, whether that be playing, or there's so many ways to have interest in baseball that isn't just the ability to play. And so there's opportunities.
I think it's exciting too, because you have the ability to relate to a lot of different people. Your personality is very warm, engaging, but you're not just a lacehead either. You're not just thinking about baseball time. You were geeking out over the World Cup.
Oh yeah,
you love soccer, and you love softball, which is huge everywhere, but especially in California. Though I will say, I think Nebraska had the third most. This stat's I'm not gonna be perfect on this, but either the third or fourth most Native Nebraskans played in the Women's College World Series this year for the various teams. So I think California and Texas had us beat or something like that. So it's a huge sport here, but yeah, you're interested in in a lot of things, but you're also interested in what the students and the athletes are interested in.
Oh, 100%. I think that's how you connect with them, and that's how you get them to work with you. And it's more so than just, I'm the teacher and you're the student, or I'm the coach and you're my player. It's finding that commonality, those kind of middle grounds. And that's the fun part, I think, when it comes to, teaching and coaching. It's finding, I like to think we're all a little weird in our own sort. Mm-hmm. So it's like those things that make us tick. If you look up in my classroom, I only have one baseball thing in there. I have one Pius hat. That's just because I didn't put it down into our baseball bay yet. So it's everything else. It's Lord of the Rings. It's Star Wars. It's all of my personal. It's every single one of the giveaway bobbleheads that I have on the Angels. I guess that's considered a baseball thing, but it's not. It's not just a baseball centric room. It's everything. It's my interest, but I like expressing those kind of interests because I want to learn the interests of the students and have them be comfortable of being like, oh, I like this and it's okay.
And kind of give back to them what you were given, which was, learn to trust yourself. I can give you the information and the knowledge and the practice and how to think, but now you've got to go out and you've got to implement those things with confidence, which I think is just an incredible skill, maybe even more important than the content. How to think and be confident in those thoughts is really the most important stuff.
Definitely.
So Coach Miro, just thank you for jumping in so quickly in April.
Yeah.
Thank you for all your work with our baseball program. Congratulations on the great run during the Legion season. And we're excited about the impact you'll have. We do a little thing here on the We Are Pius podcast called the Lightning Round. So it doesn't really have much for rules. I'm just going to throw questions at you, and if we want to expand on it, even we can. But you ready to play this little lightning round?
Yeah. Right, here we go. Nervous. Let's do it.
All right, let's start with a favorite Bible verse. What's a favorite Bible verse that comes to mind?
Jeremiah 29:11. It is, for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans for welfare, not for evil, to give you future and hope. And just trust. I think it's all about trust for me, and then just for the greater purpose. So
it's perfect. The day we're recording this, today's gospel is Peter coming to Jesus on the water, and I think that's an important reflection from Jeremiah, because we take for granted that Peter wanted to come to Jesus, whatever it takes. When the doubts came is when he sank. So this idea that just trust, this is going to be okay. Very good. I love it. We love praying for each other here at Pius, and we don't know when people listen to this, but when they hear it, is there someone or something that you're praying for that we could join you in prayer?
Yeah, I was actually just at a wedding this weekend out in Door County, and it was one of my best friends from high school, and actually, his wife. But it was this beautiful property out in Door County.
Wisconsin. It's incredible.
It was unbelievable. But unfortunately, the wife's grandmother passed away.
Yes, the bride's grandma passed away.
Yes, about 3 days before the wedding, and so we were praying for them a lot. Just
some highs and lows for that family.
Yeah, it really was. It was sweet. It ended up being sweet at the end of it, but there was all the planning. It was on her property too. That when she got it back in the 50s or whatever it was. But just praying for the family, and then
and their marriage for sure.
Exactly.
Who's your hero?
It's fun. I don't have I've never thought of there's not one singular person. I mean, I admire my parents so much just for giving me every opportunity, to working their hardest to really chase my dreams. And it's not only me. I have multiple siblings too. So it's giving everyone that equal opportunity, just the shirt off their back, just to do it, to push us. But we're gonna have to bring up some soccer again. There is some incredible soccer manager, Ange Postecoglou, Pep Guardiola, that are just awesome. We've got man managers, and their kind of style. I love listening to those interviews about the interests, and when the players talk about those specific coaches, just the genuine interest that they take in their lives and stuff. And that's something that I model my coaching off of, because they're not so much players to me. I think I told a parent this. It's all of a sudden I had no kids, and then I went to 60 kids in a matter of one phone call. So, just the people that are willing, the selfless people that are willing to do anything.
Very good. It's another thing you'd like the Thunderbolt community to learn about you, know about you.
Yeah, I love reality competition TV shows. So
what is this?
Reality competition TV
Reality
show.
competition
So
TV
I don't know.
shows.
It's like Survivor.
Okay.
Survivor is my all-time favorite TV show.
Okay.
I try to apply. I send in applications. So if you get a
I need a substitute teacher.
yeah,
long
if you
term.
get a letter or something, that just know that my dreams are coming to fruition. Okay. No, I don't know. I'm just a sucker for that kind of social aspect of it, and there's a little bit of physical in it, but it's mainly just what your social, and it's a
So
whole
like
big
Survivor,
game.
Amazing Race, right? Stuff like
Amazing
that.
Race, Big Brother's airing right now too, and they got them all locked into a house for I think it's 87 days. They get nothing but each other and just conversations. Yeah, I don't know. I can't get enough of it. I'll go back and I'll rewatch seasons. I'll watch everything. So
So you're still getting your sea legs here, but what you've been in the Thunderbolt community? You said you knew it was a brand coming in.
Yeah.
What is the best part about being a Thunderbolt? I'll prompt you. The best part
Yeah.
about being a Thunderbolt is
the community aspect itself. I was actually earlier in July. I was talking to Brian Spicta about it, and I shared this with him. I lived in a community. I was part of a community. We had a community pools. We had all of these words that we had all these community words, and
Right.
It wasn't really until coming here I truly kind of discovered what community meant, from the aspects of relationships, doing whatever you'll do for your neighbor.
Yeah.
And you really feel that here. And it's massive too,
Yeah.
which was something that I didn't realize. You have every parish, and we're all connected under this bigger umbrella, but we all love for one each other, and it doesn't matter if you live on the northeast side of town or you're living on the southwest side of town. We're all connected under one, and that element of community was new to me, and I saw it in light, and honestly, it was the coolest part, and it still is, because I'm still being introduced to the community, and
it just keeps opening up.
it really, and it's endless. I don't think I'm ever gonna
No.
reach the end of it.
And the English department's so great, and has such good leadership, and the baseball program has so many people who are interested in it, passionate about it, waiting to see the vision and things unfold here. So you'll just keep meeting that community. I just appreciate you bringing that perspective for us. So for those of us who are from the Pius community, sometimes I think we take for granted just how amazing this place is in terms of the support for one another. So, Coach Miro, welcome to the Pius family. We're grateful you're here, excited for what's ahead. Thank you, listeners, for joining us today, and thank you, Coach Miro, for being here. If you enjoyed today's conversation, be sure to share it with fellow Thunderbolts, alumni, students, and friends of Pius X. Until next time, I'm Jeremy Eckler, reminding you to do your best to restore all things in Christ. God bless everybody. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.